sitting at the desk at the end of the hallway had been dead for 6 years. I know that sounds impossible. I know exactly how it sounds. My name is Claire Weston. I'm a nurse, which means I'm a practical person by profession. I deal in facts, vital signs, medication dosages, procedural protocol. I do not believe in things I cannot measure. At least, that's what I told myself before the night shift at Hargrove Medical Center changed everything I thought I understood about the world. I had been working at Hargrove for 2 years. Night shifts in the administrative wing were quiet, occasionally unsettling the way any empty building with bad lighting is unsettling, but nothing I couldn't handle. My role that night was simple. Cross-reference patient admission files with insurance records, flag any discrepancies, print reports by 6 a.m. routine. Boring, the kind of work that makes 3 hours feel like 8. I was alone on the 3rd floor. The department had sent everyone else home early due to a scheduling overage. I had coffee, a thermos of soup, and a stack of files that would carry me through to sunrise. At 2:13 a.m., I looked up from my desk and saw a woman sitting at the workstation at the far end of the hallway. Station 7. It had been unoccupied for months following a departmental restructure. She was turned away from me, facing her monitor, which was on and glowing. She was wearing hospital administrative scrubs, gray standard issue, and had dark hair pulled back in a low bun. She was typing steadily. I assumed it was a colleague I hadn't been told about. Maybe HR had reassigned someone. I called down the hall. "Hey, I didn't know anyone else was working tonight." She didn't respond. I got up and walked toward her. The hallway felt longer than it usually did. The overhead lights were on their motion sensor cycle, and 2 of them flickered as I passed underneath. I was about 12 feet away when she turned her head slightly, not fully toward me, but just enough that I could see the profile of her face. I stopped walking. I knew that face. Her name was Janet Morse. She had worked in hospital administration from 2009 to 2015. I knew her from the employee memorial wall near the main entrance, a frame photograph, a small brass plate, a date. Janet Morse had died in February 2015 after a sudden illness. She was 41 years old. There was a small scholarship fund established in her name. I had passed her photo hundreds of times. The woman at the desk had her exact face. Same strong jaw, same wide-set eyes, same particular way of holding her shoulders slightly forward. I stood there, and my brain did what brains do when confronted with something they cannot process. It offered me alternatives, a relative, a resemblance, a trick of poor lighting and exhaustion. Then she turned fully to face me, and every rational explanation I was constructing collapsed entirely. Because the monitor she was sitting in front of was displaying a file. A patient file, not a current one from 2015, and the file was for a patient named Janet Morse, her own file. I don't remember making a sound. I don't remember turning around. I remember being at the elevator, pressing the button, and when the doors didn't open fast enough, taking the stairs. I remember sitting in my car in the parking garage with the doors locked, and the engine running for 22 minutes before I could make my hands stop shaking enough to drive. I filed an incident report the next morning. I described what I saw without editorializing. The duty administrator listened, asked if I had been sleeping adequately, offered me a referral to the employee assistance program. The file on the monitor was never explained. Station 7 had not been logged into that night. No keycard access. No remote login. Nothing. The IT department confirmed the terminal had been inactive for 11 days. What happened next is the part that still keeps me up at night. 3 weeks after that evening, a records audit of the hospital's 2014 to 2016 patient database discovered a series of irregularities in billing and insurance documentation tied to the administrative department. The investigation revealed that a pattern of fraudulent billing had been occurring and that at least one employee had attempted to report it internally before her death. Her name was in the early audit documents. Her name was Janet Morse. I don't know what I saw that night. I don't know if there's a rational explanation that I simply don't have access to. What I do know is that the moment I saw what was on that monitor, something in me understood that it mattered. I told the auditors everything. I cooperated fully. I gave them every piece of documentation I had access to. 3 individuals were eventually terminated, and 2 faced legal proceedings. Night shifts in empty buildings have a way of showing you things you were never meant to see. Whether those things come from the living or somewhere else, I leave that to your judgment. But here is what I believe. The truth finds a way to surface, even when the people who carried it are gone. Listen to what the quiet is trying to tell you.